Hi, everybody, and thanks for tuning in for another episode of Jesus Is. My name is Pat Gunning, and I'm the youth minister at Sacred Heart Church in Ocean Beach in San Diego, California. And this Sunday's gospel, Jesus gives us the parable of the wheat and the weeds, but he also gives us a beautiful simile that Christians have fallen in love with, and that's the simile of faith the size of a mustard seed. Jesus says, "The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed that a person took and sowed in a field. It is the smallest of all the seeds, yet when full grown, it is the largest of plants. It becomes a large bush, and the birds of the sky come and dwell in its branches." Most of us are comforted at Jesus' point about the power of a faith that's as small as a mustard seed, because we're all human and we fall and we fail and we make mistakes and we sin. And so it's nice to know that our little faith that we have can be enough and be very powerful. But a larger truth also lies behind this, and that's that mustard seeds grow. So Jesus is not only drawing attention to the small size of these seeds, but also to its ability to grow. This phrase has been seen a couple of times in the Bible. In the Gospel of Matthew, it comes after the disciples are unable to cast a demon out of someone, and they're not really sure why. And Jesus says it's because of their lack of faith. He says if they had faith the size of a mustard seed, they would say to a mountain, "Move from here to there," and it would move. He says, nothing will be impossible for you. In the Gospel of Luke, this parable comes after Jesus speaks on forgiving someone that has wronged you 7 times in one day and asks for forgiveness each time, to which the disciples respond with a request to increase their faith. To this, Jesus says, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you would say to this mulberry tree, "Be uprooted and planted in the sea," and it would obey you. Of course, in both circumstances, the size of a mustard seed matters, because the mustard seeds are so small. But there are 2 other key differences that Jesus is looking at with mustard seeds in regards to faith. And we see it in this scripture that is a little bit different than those 2 coming from Matthew and Luke. The first one is that it's a life-giving force. Mustard seeds have fruit, they bear fruit. So these mustard seeds bear fruit. And Jesus didn't compare faith to dust or grain because those don't bear fruit. Mustard seeds do. So a faith that is effective is a faith that is living, that has works, right? Scripture says that a dead faith is one without works. So the first key is that it's a life-giving force. It bears fruit. The second one is that small seed grows into a very large plant. The smallest of all seeds, in fact, it says, grows into a very large plant. It becomes a large bush, and the birds of the sky come and dwell in its branches. It's after all through faith, not through the sword, that the kingdom of heaven grows. The birds are like the kingdom of heaven, that the people of God inhabiting this bush that came from a small mustard seed. The people of God inhabiting this bush that is from faith, not from a sword. We also see in both contexts that with God, all things are possible. Without faith, we wouldn't be able to move a mountain or plant a mulberry tree in the ocean. But with faith in God, we are able to do the impossible. Faith allows us to remain rooted and grounded even in the most unsettled of situations. Seeds have the power to remake the world around them. And that's what faith does for us too, beginning with the world within, that is, our souls. I hope you all have a really blessed week. God bless.